No workshop? No problem. Today we'll be getting into a F30 318i. We're doing the rear brake pads on this car, so stay tuned if you want step-by-step instructions on how to do that. Okay, today we're doing brakes on a BMW F30 318i. We're doing the rear brake pads. So first of all, we're just going to crack the wheel nuts loose. This car does use a 17mm spanner or socket. Okay, next up we can just jack the car up. I will be jacking the car on the diff. Now we will remove the wheel nuts. Okay, so we've got your brake pad sensor right here. We're just going to unclip it from there. It's on the brake bleeder valve. Then just pull it out. It just has a little pin where it slides into the brake disc itself. So then here, just unclip it from these hooks where it clips into. Goes all the way around. Then this you can either wedge a screwdriver in there just to push this clip away, or you can just do it by hand. So what you're doing is you're just pushing the clip in and then it just releases from there. It has little hooks that hook into the caliper itself. Just put that aside. Then at the back here, right here, you have two little caps that holds it's like a dust seal for the clip, for the Allen keys that's in there. There's one on top and there's another one right here at the back, just like that. Okay, then we can get a screwdriver, compress this caliper, make sure your handbrake is down. Then we can compress this caliper, take the caliper off. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so you will stick the screwdriver in between the disc and the caliper, and then you wedging it forward to release the caliper. To compress the caliper. Then next you will need a 8mm Allen key. It goes in to the back where the dust seal was, right into that bolt, and then we'll loosen that bolt and the bottom bolt to remove the caliper. So you're just pulling it back enough just so it still sits there, but it's not in the way of the caliper, so you can actually move it. Then you can just pull the caliper off and you can remove your brake pads. That's one. And then this one just pulls out. It has two little or three clips it pushes into the piston. You just take those off. and then you get new gloves. Okay, once your new gloves are on, you're taking a 10mm socket and you're removing this one bolt right there for the fender liner. It is a plastic bolt. Just make sure you use the right socket not to strip it. And then also when tightening it, make sure you don't strip it as well, because it is a metal bolt with a steel, or a steel bolt with a plastic bolt. Right here you have two little clips. You just lift the tabs up and it opens the whole flap. Then you can just pull your sensor out. On the sensor you've got a little tab, you just click it in, and then, okay, this one is a bit of dust on it. So what we'll do is we'll just use a screwdriver just to lift it up and then pull it out. Just like that. Okay, the old sensor is right there. The new sensor, I'm just going to show you a comparison. So the wire, everything would be the same. You just get to the end where this head gets worn down when the brake pads are finished. So what happens is there's two little metal prongs which touches onto the disc when you're driving. That actually activates your light on the dash. So you're just going to change the wear sensor. Just clip it back in there. Make sure you hear the click. Slot it back into the cover, into the plug housing, and then we can put this back into place. As mentioned before, do not strip this bolt. So you're just tightening it enough until it's snug, and then just a little bit more. My socket keeps falling off of my ratchet. Okay, then we're feeding this brake pad sensor back through around the shock at the back, and then all the way up through this bar. You're just pulling it like that. Okay, then at the back there, we're putting it back into the clip. I'll just get you a close-up of that. I am doing it one-handedly now, so the wire will just go in there, and then the clip will just clip again, just like that. Same on the back. And right here, and then it comes back to the caliper. So we'll get to that now. Then you got the new brake pads. So these are the old brake pads and these are the new ones. So as you can see, this is your pad surface right there until that backing plate. So this one is finished. There's almost nothing left on it. That's just a very quick comparison on what a new pad looks like towards an old pad. That's the same thing on the other one, as you can see. Okay, let's get to putting it back. So this pad will just go on, it slides onto the caliper, just like that. And then this one on the actual piston itself, you have to make sure that it presses into the piston all the way in, like that. Make sure these bolts are not protruding like that, otherwise it will not go back onto the carrier arm. Now we will just put this back on. Okay, the piston is not compressed all the way, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the brake pad and then just pull on the piston just a little bit, just to compress it that extra millimeter or so. Then you can just slot it back in, push the 2 bolts at the back in, take a socket, 8 mils Allen key, and then just start tightening them up again. Okay, then these 2 little caps goes back into those holes. You just press them in. This goes back on here, so where you had the bleed nipple, there's a little piece on there, it just goes in there, and then you pressed it on. It's just a rubber cap. This one, the sensor on the back of the pad, just to show you on the old one, there's a little notch right there, which is where the brake pad sensor pushes into. So what you're going to do is you're going to fit it in with the little nipple showing towards the disc, which will be in like that. So you're just going to basically push it in there, and that's seated. It will not come out because it clips into place. And that is one side done. So now we can put the wheel back and then do the other side. Actually, before you put the wheel back, this clip needs to go back. These 2 just press on the carrying arm, and then this one clips into the actual caliper. So you're just gonna clip it in like that. Just make sure both of them hook in. Then we can put the wheel back. So I'm going to show you a demonstration with the screwdriver. You're just going to wedge it there, push the clip, and then just pull it out. Now we're going to compress the caliper as well. We're taking the 8mm again, loosening these. Ow. Almost broke a nail. This side does not have a brake pad sensor, it only has a sensor on one side. So on the rear, it's only on the left hand side. I mean on the right hand side, and then on the front it's on the left hand side. So when tightening the wheel, you're going to go in a crisscross pattern. So starting here, you never torque the lock nut, as this little piece on the inside can break when it's too tight. So you just put that on, you just tighten that just enough so it doesn't come out. Then you're going to go directly down to that one, then to that one, then to that one, and then to that one. Reason being, when you're tightening them in a circle, the wheel can push skew. So those can be tight and this can be pushing on the lip, so the wheel can sit skew. When you're driving, the wheel will then pop back into place. Having these loose, so then you'll maybe only have one that's almost tight, but it won't really be tight. So what the crisscross does is you're tightening one there, so now it's pulling the wheel in there. Then you're tightening one here, which pulls it in that way. Then there, and then there, well, obviously in the way that I told you. And then that will pull the wheel directly flush onto the hub. So now we set the torque wrench to 140 newtons, like you can see there. I don't know if you can see that. Now we're going in the lock nuts right there, so we're going directly down. We're just torquing that down. Then crisscross, as I mentioned. Just like that. Make sure you have the keys with you. So what you will be doing is just clicking the start button once. You'll see the service light comes on. So just lock the door. You can either close the door or lock the door. So I'm just going to lock the door like that. Then power on. And until you get to that screen, you can just scroll down to any menu. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go to the blank one. Then you're going to hold this button in, the reset button. So you hold it in, you'll see there's going to be a message that pops up like that. So it says the rear brake pads reset possible. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to, okay, once you have that menu on, just click and hold it again. You're going to click the button once to scroll through the menu. So you see the rear brake pads are due, so what you're going to do is you're going to click and hold that button in there. It's going to say perform reset, then you leave the button completely, click and hold it again. It will reset the brake pads. And that means it completely reset. So now what you can do is just switch off the car. Remember to open this door to release that. And when you're switching it on again, only the oil service will come up. So it's just going to show you that the oil service is due when it does show up. Other than that, that is about it that you would need to do brake pads on this car. Do remember to pump the brakes. So you're going to just push it down all the way to the bottom, just to kind of, you're going to basically now push the caliper back into its position where it was. So just pump it before you move the car, otherwise you will have no brakes. So just like that, we have completed the brake pads on this F30 318i. If you found the video useful, please drop a like, comment, and then also please do not forget to subscribe to the channel.